This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God, and to the benefit of all those who listen. Well, glory to God, praise God, and welcome to iPad for All Computing session number 21. We are excited to get into Apple Numbers. We are continuing on this path of the productivity apps, often called iWork throughout the years. Now, Numbers is the spreadsheet app, and lots of people use spreadsheets, and it's something it's very beneficial to have some basic understanding of. I'm not going to go extensively into things like formulas. I am going to demonstrate them because they work very well with Numbers and with VoiceOver. So we're absolutely going to do some basic formulas, but this is just to kind of get your feet wet, as they say. Numbers, just like all the other Apple apps, Numbers, just like all the other Apple apps, is iCloud compatible, of course. iCloud built right in. Everything syncs, fully VoiceOver accessible, and uses really the same predictable patterns as both Pages and Keynote. So we're going to be able to pretty much breeze through this app. Now, remember, the Numbers app uses cells. You have rows and columns, and so what we'll have is we'll have to double tap a cell to select it, and then there are different actions we can perform on it. But if we double tap it again, we can now enter text into it. So it's just like a text box in that regard. Remember that? Like in Keynote, you double tap once on the cell and that selects it, and there are various actions that you can perform. We'll show you what some of those are, and then a second double tap for VoiceOver, or single tap if not, will give you the ability to enter text.
Numbers. Quick test. Numbers file in iCloud 5/4/23 to 31 AM 140 kilobytes.
Like with Pages and Keynote, you are brought immediately into in this case, we'll call it the sheet manager or the spreadsheet manager, but it's like the document manager and the presentation manager. It displays either your recent documents, or you can select a location, iCloud Drive, and so on, and you can work with, rename, move, copy, delete, anything you want. You can create folders right here because it's just like the Files app. So it's very possible to do everything you want to do here. Copy and paste, make new folders, add tags. All of those things you can do in the Files app can be done right here. And remember, if you actually go to a specific folder, even versions, we can't do that from recents, remember, but we showed you document versions in Pages, so you're kind of familiar with all of those things now. And here is our list of existing spreadsheets, as well as the ability to create a new one, which is what we'll be doing right now. I am not using the smart keyboard at this moment, but I will later. I believe it's very important to show you this screen without a smart keyboard first, because there are special shortcuts and various features available only on screen, so I'm going to show you those first. Then there are special features and functionality available only with a keyboard, so we're going to switch over to that. We're going to create a simple spreadsheet today, a couple of spreadsheets, and our first one is going to have to do with ice cream flavors. We're going to have numbers of people that enjoy different flavors of ice cream. We're just going to make them up as we go. So let's get started.
Add button.
Praise
Cancel
God.
button.
Now, if we swipe, excuse me a moment. Needed to adjust there. I didn't know how much background noise that would possibly cause. But let's swipe to the right.
Choose a template. Heading. Recents button. Basic button.
And again, we can look through some of this.
Personal finance. Personal. business, education, recents, heading.
There are some very nice templates. I often use the invoice template, which I believe is under business, and I use that because it's kind of got everything already filled in and the formulas there and everything. So there are some really nice templates. Today we're just going to do a basic one.
Recents, basic, blank, simple table on a white background.
That's what we want.
Blank, simple, selected, empty cell, row 2, column 2.
And right off the bat,
Tap to edit, actions available. Use the rotor to access links, misspelled words, comments, highlights, nearby elements.
sounds very familiar, right? Again, if you missed the sessions on Pages and Keynote, you can absolutely go back to the podcast or on YouTube and listen, but we're not going to go extensively through all of this because it's almost exactly the same. It's virtually identical to what we did before. I want to rename this. We know how to do that. Up to the top left.
245 blank 2 actions menu
And
button.
there's our actions menu. Remember, to the left of that is
Back button.
the back button.
Blank 2 actions menu button.
We also normally had a view options, but
Insert table.
don't see it here.
Blank 2.
But we do have
menu,
the actions
button.
menu, so let's open that.
Blank 2. Share button.
Again, share is there like always.
Numbers spreadsheet rename button.
There's rename.
Text field is video.
And we will call this
Numbers cap I.
Ice Cream Test 24.
Cap I C E R E A M Z percent at hyphen ice cream. Cap R cap R cap T E S T Z percent X hyphen
And-
test 2 4 done.
Now if we look up here,
Table 1 column G column F reference back button. Ice cream test 24 actions menu button.
all right, that has been renamed. And just a quick swipe through these options.
Insert table button. Insert chart. Insert shape. Insert media. Share button. Undo dimmed. Format button. Organize table off button. More button. Reading view button. New sheet button. Selected. Sheet 1 spreadsheet 1 of 1 white 100 background. Double tap to edit sheet title. To change the background color, go to the actions rotor and select sheet format. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
You learned a lot already, right, from that description. We can edit the sheet title, we can change the background color, and I'm not even going to get into a lot of that because of the fact that we've done some of these things like the inserting shapes and media and everything in other apps, and so we're going to keep it pretty simple and just get right to actually entering values and entering data into our sheet here. If you want to know more about some of these things, again, as with Pages and Keynote, I would encourage you to check out the onboard help system. So let's swipe to the right.
Sheet 1, white background, column count handle, 7 columns, adjustable. Swipe up or down to add or remove columns in the table. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
Now that's going to be very important. If you need more columns or if you want to have fewer columns, you can swipe up or down on this column count handle to adjust the total number of columns in the spreadsheet. I'd say we have more than we need already, but I'm not going to mess with that right now just for this demonstration.
Row count handle, 22 rows, adjustable.
And I know
Swipe up or down to add or remove rows in the table. Swipe
Definitely.
up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
definitely we're not going to have that many rows because we're not going to do that many sets of data. Our columns will be like ice cream flavor, number of girls that like that flavor, number of boys that like that flavor, and then the total number of the boys and girls combined. So if you look, columns are vertical, but in other words, to get from one column to the next, you move across. So if I said to you columns go across, you would dispute that because it's inaccurate. The column is actually a vertical column, but in other words, to get from one column to the next, you move across the spreadsheet. From left to right, we are going to have ice cream flavor, and then the next one on there will be like, we'll do strawberry, and then, the next one on there will be like number of girls, and then number of boys, and then total. So we're only going to have 4 columns, and I think they said,
Column count handle, 7 columns.
right, so, well, again, what we would do if we were submitting this professionally is we'd reduce this a little, and maybe I will afterwards, Then we have the number of girls, the number of boys, and then going down our rows, which we would have like our different. We'll do different flavors like strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, whatever. So let's just get started. We'll go to the right.
Row count, upper left selection handle.
Now,
double tap and hold, then drag to expand or contract the current cell selection.
And again, we don't need to do that right now. If you want to select multiple cells, you can, but we're not going to do that right now.
Selected. Table 1, 22 rows, 7 columns. Table mover handle. Table start. 22 rows, 7 columns.
Again,
drag action available. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate. Use the rotor to access links, misspelled words, comments, highlights, nearby elements.
So you're going to have custom actions, but again, there are 22 rows. We're not going to need nearly that many. There are 7 columns. I've only mentioned 4 columns to you, and that includes the flavor, the number of girls, the number of boys, and the total. And the rows, I mean, my goodness, I'm not going to do 22 ice cream flavors just for this demonstration, right? So let's go to the right and do...
Column A reference tab.
Okay.
Double tap to select. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
You need to go past these. This is not actually where you're going to enter the data. These are just the reference.
Column B reference. Column C column B reference tab. Column E column G reference
Obviously, we'll go up to G because there are 7.
Table name. Table 1. Double tap to select the table's name. Swipe up or down to row 1 reference tab.
Now you have the row reference.
Double tap to select row header, row 1, column 1.
There's your first.
Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
There's your first actual row and column where we can enter something, and if we go to the right, we're going to go to the next column.
Double tap to select column header, column 2.
Okay, and again,
double tap to select column header, column 3.
All the way to row.
Swipe up or down.
All the way, rather, to column 7. Remember, there's 7 columns. And also, I should point out, in the rotor, there is an option to swipe up or down to navigate by row. So if you want to go directly to the row below the current row, you can set the rotor to rows. Let's just look quickly at what is in the rotor.
Double tap to select nearby elements, highlights, comments, misspelled words, links, rows.
There's rows.
Screen recognition, containers, vertical padding, word, character, actions.
And let's see, actions.
Add caption, format, deselect all, explore image, activate, default.
So we're on the first one.
Double tap to select row header, column 1.
We're gonna
swipe up or down to select a custom act. Double tap to edit.
Now we've selected it, but now we're going to double tap to edit it.
Selected text field is editing row 1, column 1, insertion point at start.
And we're going to just call it flavor.
Swipe up or down to
we're going to keep it very simple. We will call it flavor.
Cap FLAVOR.
Okay. Now, I am not going to press return because if I do, what will happen is I'll be put on the next row. Actually, I could do that because I know what flavors I want to use. So technically I could do that. I just, to keep things simple, I don't know. I think maybe I will do it to demonstrate it. Let's press return.
Return.
And we can now enter the
Cap A delete
strawberry.
Cap T R A W E R R Y.
Okay, and return again, and we can do
caps HOCOLATE.
Chocolate, and one more.
Cap VNILLA.
All right, so if we touch up at the top of near the top of the screen now.
Table 1, 22 row, empty cell, empty, flavor, strawberry, row header, row 2 reference tab.
See?
Double tap to select.
So go back to the swiping to the left.
Double tap, flip, row 1 reference tab, flavor, row header, column head. Double tap to select, column header.
See, we haven't filled any of these in yet, but if you go past the 7th one,
column header, column 7, row 2 reference tab.
Row 2, column 1 will say
flavor, strawberry, row.
All right.
Row 3 reference tab, flavor, chocolate, row header, empty, row selected, flavor, is editing, row header, row 4, column 1.
And that one is still
tap to edit.
That one's
swipe up or down to
that one's still editing, and so we have our normal options with the rotor if we want to move by character or select some text or delete something. When we're done entering text in a specific cell, what we really should do is go down to the bottom right of the keyboard on screen here, and we should hit Hide Keyboard. Okay, now
back button. Empty, flavor, row header, column 1. Row 5 reference tab, empty cell, column, row 4 reference tab, selected, flavor, vanilla, row header, row 4, column 1.
notice now,
Double tap to
notice now it says what it is and it's still selected,
edit, actions,
but it's not, the edit field is not open anymore because we hit Hide Keyboard on the bottom right of the screen. So that's what you want to do when you're done entering. If you want to be able to look at your cell that you've just typed in, you want to hide the keyboard. So let's go back now to the top here.
Empty, flavor, strawberry, row, double tap to select, double tap to select, column header, column 2. Flavor, row header, column 1.
We did flavor.
Double tap to select, selected, and double selected, text field.
We have to do across now. This is going to be number of girls.
Cap N, U, M, B, E, O, space, I, F.
Whoops, I want to put O, F.
O, F,
and I want to put
cap G, I, O, L, S.
Number of girls. Now we'll go across again.
Table 1, column G reference tab, table name. Row 1 reference, flavor, row, selected, is editing. Double tap to select, empty cell.
Now,
double tap, selected, is editing. Double tap to selected, double tap to edit. Cap B.
This is
Cap N, U, M, B, E, O, space, O, F, space, cap B, I, Y.
This is number of boys.
O, U.
And let me just see if we want to do total is going to be the fourth one. So,
table empty cell, empty is editing, empty cell, column 3, number of girls is editing, empty cell, selected, insertion point at end.
This is total.
Cap O, cap T, O, T, A, L.
All right, now let's hide the keyboard.
Hide keyboard. Double tap
so we can look at what we have.
Table 1, row 1 reference tab, flavor, row header, row 1, number of girls, column header, column 2. Number of boys, column header, column 3. Double tap to select, column header, column 4.
And I thought I must have
selected, and double tap selected, text capital.
I thought I put that in there, but
O-T-A-L.
I may have put it in the wrong place. We can fix it though, it's not an issue.
Table 1, column G reference, table name, row 1 reference tab. Flavor, number of girls, number of boys, selected, total, column
all right,
header.
That's all we need. So now we're going to start, if we go to the right.
Double row 2 reference tab, flavor, strawberry, row header.
And I'm kind of curious where I accidentally put that total before.
Total,
there,
total, column
right there.
Selected, double tap to edit, return, cap T, O, T, A, L, L, A, T, O, cap T.
Delete that out of there. Hide the keyboard. Okay, so back to what we were doing.
Row 1 reference, flavor, number of girls, column header, number of boys, column header, total, column header.
All right, so now.
Row 2 reference tab, flavor, strawberry, row header, row 2, column 1.
There's strawberry, and what we want to do is
number of girls, empty cell, column 2.
So we want to do the number of girls
to select actions.
We want to do the number of girls that like strawberry ice cream.
Flavor, strawberry, number of girls, empty, selected, double tap to edit.
And we will say
cap high
that
8.
There are 8.
8.
All right, now we want to if I know that I want to go down to the next row, I can press return and I can do the number of girls that like chocolate. So let's do that.
Cap 1. 1, double 2. 2.
There are 12 girls that like chocolate. And there are only 5 girls that like
capped 5. 5.
Vanilla. Okay, now I'll hide the keyboard. We can take a look at what we've just done.
Row 1 reference, flavor, row header, number of girls, number of boys, column header, total, column header. Row 2 reference tab, flavor, strawberry, number of girls, 8, number of boys, empty cell.
All right, how many boys like the
double tap to select,
like the
down to
strawberry?
Custom action, then selected, and double tap to edit. Cap 7.
Say there are 7.
7.
And do I want to go ahead and do the chocolate and vanilla while I'm at it? Sure. Let's say
Return.
11.
Cap 1. 1.
And I don't...
U. Return. 1. 1. Q.
I want another one.
1.
Make it 11. And how about vanilla? There are going to be 10.
Cap O. Cap 1. 1. Page delete page 0. 0.
All right, hide the keyboard. Now, I'm sure that you understand I didn't have to do all three of them. Like, I could have gone across and looked at each one and done it, that way. But I just wanted to go ahead and do these.
Table 1. 22 rows. 7 columns. Row 1 reference flavor. Row number of girls. Number of boys. Total. Double tap to select. Row 2 reference flavor. Strawberry. Number of girls. 8. Number of boys. 7. Column 3.
All right.
Total. Empty cell.
Now, we don't have a total, but we're going to get to that. So let's go to the right.
Row 3 reference tab. Flavor. Chocolate. Number of girls. 12. Number of boys. 11. Total. Empty cell.
No total yet.
4. Row 4 reference tab. Flavor. Vanilla. Number of girls. 5. Selected. Number of boys. 10. Total. Empty cell.
All right.
Column 4.
So the first
Double tapped
thing that you can see is how easy it is to enter data into your cells. Now, right away, we already have need of a formula. I mean, we really don't, because we could add that up in our heads, but the idea here is that we want to be able to use the formulas. So this is going to allow us to open up a cell and to look at some different options. I told you there are lots and lots of shortcuts on screen. We've just done very basic text entry here, but let's open one of these cells for total.
column F. Column G. Row. Flavor. Number of girl. Number of boys. Total. Double. Flavor. Strawberry. Number of girls. 8. Number of boys. 7. Column 3.
And that is...
Double total. Empty cell. Column 4. Double selected. At double selected. Text field is editing. Number of boys. 7. Selected. Total. Text field is editing. Column 4.
All right, that's where we're going to want a total of 8 and 7. And I want to show you that if we go to the left of the letter Q, or to the left of your numbers, depending on which iPad you have,
Cap W, Cap Q, Tab.
and your Tab key, let's show you all these different things we have. We can control a lot of options for the cell.
Cell actions menu, button.
Okay, cell action.
Tap to show cell actions menu.
I'm going to show you that in a moment, but let's look at what else is here.
Formula keyboard, button.
Notice right away, formula keyboard. That is where you can enter formulas. So what happens is that your on-screen keyboard changes from being a typical QWERTY alpha or alphanumeric, keyboard to something that offers formulas and symbols. You'll have built-in symbols there to create your formulas and so on, I should say. And if we swipe to the left, we have even more options.
The cap I.
Those are quick type suggestions.
Date and time keyboard, button.
But there's a date and time keyboard that is best for entering that, for dates and times.
Numeric keyboard, button.
Number keyboard only. This is useful if you're entering values, prices, things of that nature.
Selected. Text keyboard,
and
dimmed, button.
There's the one that they call the text keyboard, which does have numbers also, but still.
Vertical scroll bar, 7 pages, sheet 1, white background, lower right selection handle.
And then we get over.
Lower middle right, selected, table 1, empty cell, and vertical select new.
So those things. So I wanted to show you some of the different keyboards that you have for on screen, because you have a lot of keyboard options. Date and time, numeric, there was the formula keyboard, and of course the text keyboard. I also want to show you the cell actions.
Cell actions menu, but selected, text feed D2. D2 cut, button, copy, button, paste, dimmed, button, delete, dimmed, insert. Current date, current time, button, new formula, button, stock quote, button, add comment, button, create pivot table, button, copy snapshot, quick formulas, heading.
Now look at these options. So notice we had a formula keyboard, but through the cell actions we could also insert, and it said D2, that's where we are, and it said that we could insert a new formula, and then they even have a series of quick formulas that we're going to be able to choose from here. So that was under cell actions. So I didn't even show the formula keyboard. I just went to cell actions. You saw all these different options. You can copy, you can paste. Paste is dimmed because we don't have anything in the clipboard to paste. You saw that we could, I think, what was the other one that was dimmed? Maybe delete, because there's nothing there to delete yet either. But we're going to look at these quick formulas.
Sum button.
And sum, and that's exactly what we want to use. We want to use a sum.
Average, minimum button.
Okay.
Sum
There's lots
button.
more probably. I just showed you 3. But we want sum because we want to do the sum of 8 and 7, which were in our B and C columns. So let's just choose sum and see what happens.
Formula editor is editing. Function start. Sum. Cell range B2 through C2. Function end. Right paren. Character mode.
And praise God, it's smart enough that it knows exactly what I wanted, and it's exactly right. Now I have to look here.
Vertical functions button. Plus button.
See, that show you can
Minus button. Minus times button. Close. Divided by button. Left paren button. Right per $sign colon.
These are other things you can enter yourself.
Function.
Go back to the left.
Vertical delete formula button.
We don't want to do that.
Sheet 1. White delete.
So all we really have to do here.
Hide keyboard. Selected. Formula result 15. Row 2.
And look at that. Did you hear that? Let you hear that again.
Selected. Total. Formula result 15. Column 4.
Praise God, that's how easy it was. Now, some of your more complicated, complex formulas, you might need to create them yourselves, but maybe not. But it was smart enough as soon as I went to the quick actions. So let me review how we did that. We selected the cell. We opened up the cell as if we were going to type in it, where we wanted the sum of 8 plus 15, or excuse me, 8 plus 7. But then instead of actually typing anything, we wanted to choose a different keyboard, and we didn't even do that. We just chose cell action menu, and when we chose that, we swiped to the right. We did not say new formula. That would be another thing you're tempted to do, but that we didn't even do that. We kept swiping beyond that. From this cell actions menu, we saw quick formulas. That was a whole heading, and there were a whole bunch of them there. We just chose sum, and it automatically put the correct one in it, and notice it did it correctly. 8 girls plus 7 boys equals a total of 15 people that like strawberry ice cream in our fictional example here. Now, I want to show you something. If you swipe back to the left, we can confirm all this.
Flavor. Strawberry. Number of girls 8. Column 2.
Swiping right.
Number of boys 7. Column
So 8 plus
3.
7 is?
Selected. Total. Formula result 15. Column 4.
Now, go to the right.
Empty cell. Row 3 reference. Flavor. Chocolate. Row header. Number of girls 12. Number of boys 11. Column
And?
total. Empty cell.
Oh, look at that. We don't have a formula in there. So, what are my options? Well, I can manually do the same thing again, and I can enter the formula here. But if you're dealing with a lot of cells, that may not be the best way to do it. So, another option that we have is to copy the formula. And if you copy the formula, it's going to look something like this.
Strawberry. Empty cell. Empty cell. Empty. Selected. Total. Formula result 15.
Now let's look at our actions rotor and see if there's a copy.
Move to row reference. Move to column reference tab. Move to upper left select. Move to lower right selection handle. Make table right to add comment. Add caption. Format. Deselect all. Activate. Default.
All right, not there, but how about under edit?
Nearby L. Highlights. Comments. Misspelled links. Rows. Edit. Format. Clear cell cut. Copy.
Okay. So we can copy, and we can go over here.
Row. Flavor. Chocolate. Number of girls 12. Number of boys 11. Column 3. Total. Empty cell. Column. Selected. Double tap to number of boys 11. Selected. Total. Empty cell. Column 4.
And maybe,
Double tap. Move to row. Move. Make add comment. Make table. Add format. Deselect. Activate.
let's look under edit again.
Nearby L. Highlight. Comment. Misspell links. Row. Vanilla. Selected. Chocolate. Selected. Total. Edit. Paste.
There's paste there. I also expect we'd find it under cell action. If I open this up to edit in it, I expect that,
Flavor. Row header. Row 14 reference. Empty. Number of boys. Empty. Flavor. Row. Number.
We're too far down
empty
here.
Cell. Row. Empty. Empty. Total. Empty. Number of boys. Empty.
Yeah, we're way too far down. Hold on, I want to go back up a little because I want to show you.
Flavor. Row. Row 7 reference tab. Number of girls. Empty. Flavor. Number of boys. Empty.
I expect that we'd find it under cell actions too.
Empty cell. Empty. Selected. Total. Formula. Number of boys. 11. Selected. Total. Select 3. Delete formula. Button. Formula editor is editing. Function start. Sum. Cell range. B3 through C3.
Okay, interesting. It automatically wanted to put it in there because it recognized that I was doing that, so we can
delete sheet 1, lower middle table.
So I didn't even paste.
Select
that actually
table 1, 20 high keyboard.
That actually was cool.
Table column G reference table row 1 reference.
Let me show you what happened.
Tap to select double tap row flavor strawberry flavor chocolate number of girls 12 number of boys 11 selected total formula result 23.
Now what happened there was when I went to edit that field manually, it actually knew that I wanted a formula there. So that means there's actually 3 ways. We could have pasted, and what I was going to show you is that if we hit paste, you're going to have the option to paste the formula or to paste the actual number. So like here, we copied that, so let's show you.
Flavor, vanilla, number.
With vanilla,
5.
There's 5
boys, 10
and 10.
Total, empty cell, selected, double, no, selected, total, empty cell, nearby, highlight, comment, miss, links, rows, edit, select, paste.
And maybe it's not even going to ask me.
Selected, total, formula result, 15.
Yeah,
column.
It just did it. It did 5 and 10. For 15. But here's the thing. What if we had a bunch more flavors? Like, let me do some more flavors here. In fact, let me just do a whole new one to show you a different way of doing this. Because the thing is, we've learned the basic way. You can copy and paste your formulas. But let's suppose we had, a whole bunch. We wanted to do something different. And that's where they have a special keyboard command, not just for voiceover users, but for everybody. How you doing, Carson? Good. Missed you. How was the video thing today?
Good.
Yeah? Do you see his parents and stuff then?
Yeah.
How are they doing?
Good.
That's good.
Said hi to Pop.
Cool, I'll tell them. You had pizza and stuff?
Yeah.
Good, so it was a fun day? You have to work though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else new? You need anything?
No.
No? Okay. All right, so folks, what we're going to do, that actually worked out even better because when I went to enter text in there, it knew that that's what I wanted. It's very, very smart. But I'm going to create a new one now, and I'm going to show you another way to do it. So let's go out of this one.
Ice cream test back button, hide sidebar.
And this time, instead of ice cream, we're going to do soda. So let's go over here.
AK proposal NJ Max 0 WD double sodas. Search, select, icons, add, button.
I had done this as a demo before.
Cancel, button, person, basic, blank, blank, selected, empty cell.
Okay,
two,
so I'm gonna
blank 2,
rename it.
blank share, numbers spreadsheet, middle dot 134 kilobytes, rename.
This will be
Video.
soda test.
Pi. Cap SODA hyphen cap TET shift X hyphen double 2 off 4.
Okay, so same thing. We'll do like soda flavor, number of girls, number of boys total. Same thing, okay?
TY selected sheet 1.
Make sure our
soda test 24.
okay.
Upper left column C column G table name. Table row 1 reference, double tap to select, row header, row 1, column selected, at double tap to selected, double tap to edit, row header, column 1. Selected, text field is editing.
Call it flavor.
Cap FLAVOR.
And I'll put some flavors in right off the bat.
Return.
We'll have
Capo.
Coke,
Cap COKE.
Pepsi,
Cap P. Cap EPSI.
cherry,
Caps H-E-R-R-Y.
Root beer.
Cap high. Cap O-T-B-E-E-R. Root beer.
How about Dr. Pepper?
Cap D-R period space cap E-E-P-P-E-R.
All right, so those are our flavors. We'll
High keyboard.
do that.
Double
And
tap,
we
hold,
have
then column G rep table row 1 referenced flavor double tap to double tap
okay.
flavor double tap to flavor double tap to selected double tap to edit.
And I'm not even gonna put number of girls. Just to save time, I'll put girls.
Cap high, cap G-I-R-L-S.
And we could go across and do boys and do total. But I'm already just gonna start entering data. So we had Coke. Let's say there's, again, we'll use the number 8.
Cap high 8.
For Pepsi, let's say 10.
Cap 1 P 0.
For cherry, lots of people like cherry soda.
Cap 2.
There's going to be 22.
2.
For root beer, 17.
Cap 1 6.
Oops.
7.
And for Dr. Pepper, there'll be 12.
Cap 1 2.
All right. Hide the keyboard.
Table 1, row 1 referenced flavor, row girls, column header, double row flavor, Coke, girls, 8, empty cell.
We got to go back up
Double tap girls.
because I never entered the reference. I never entered the header.
Double tap to select, column selected, and double tap to edit. Girls selected is editing. Text field
Boys
is a cap B I T T O Y S.
Boys. All right, for the boys, 10 of them like Coca-Cola.
Cap 1 P 0.
9 of them like Pepsi.
Cap 9.
19 of them like cherry Coke or Pepsi.
Cap 1 0 9.
Root beer. About 18.
Cap 1 8.
And Dr. Pepper, we'll say 13.
1. Activate 1 E3 3.
Okay. All right, so let's look at our status here.
Table 1, double tap, row 2 reference tab, flavor, Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10, empty cell, column 4.
And I didn't put the word total yet.
Double tap to select.
We better do that.
Row 2, double tap, boys, column header, column 3.
So that I don't forget.
Double tap to select, column header, column 4.
That's where it goes.
Swipe up selected, empty, double tap to boys, selected, is editing, text cap O, cap T O T A L.
And hide the keyboard.
Hide keyboard.
All right, so.
Double share, sheet 1, column B reference, row 1 referenced, flavor, row girls, column header, boys, column header, selected, total, column header, row 2 reference tab, flavor, Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10, total, empty cell.
No totals yet.
Row 3, flavor, Pepsi, girls, 10, boys, 9, total, empty. Row 4 referenced, flavor, cherry, girls, 22, boys, 19, total, empty cell. Flavor, root beer, girls, 17, boys, 18, total, empty. Flavor, Dr. Pepper, girls, 12, boys, 13.
All right, so you get the idea.
Total, empty.
No totals. So again, we'll do a formula.
Boy, girl, flavor, cherry. Row 2 reference, flavor.
How many?
Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10, column.
So we would expect to get 18. How many remember how to do a formula? We're going to do a quick one again.
Total, empty cell, selected, empty, double tap to edit, boys, 10, selected, total, text field, is editing.
We're in the total for the first one for Coca-Cola. What we're going to do is go to the cell actions.
Cap double, cap Q, tab, cell actions menu, selected, text field D2. Cut, Copy, paste, button.
That's where that paste would be. And again, it should ask you if you want to paste a formula or the actual value so that you can choose, because there obviously is a difference between pasting just the formula in a cell if you've copied it and then pasting the actual value. But we're not even going to do that.
Delete, dimmed, button, insert. Current date, current time, new form, stock quote, add comment, create.
We're going to go to the quick formulas.
Copies, quick formulas, sum, button. Formula editor is editing. Function start, sum, cell range, B2 through C2.
Okay.
Delete formula.
We're done. We just have to
hide keyboard, selected.
Hide the keyboard.
Formula
so let's look what this looks like.
Column, table, row 1, flavor, girls, boys, total. Flavor, Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10.
And I expect
selected, total. Formula result, 18.
Perfect, praise God. But look here.
Flavor, girls, 10, boys, 9, total. Empty cell.
For my Pepsi,
flavor, Pepsi.
We have not gotten a total. So we could copy and we could paste. We did that already using the rotor, and there's a paste button in cell actions, and so we also could do it that way, and it should ask you. And then again, the other option you have is it looks like if you just want to start entering data in it, it knows you want to keep doing that. But there is even yet another way, because if you have a ton of these, you need something really, really super quick. And this is where Apple has just gone above and beyond, and they've given a keyboard method to do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the configuration around here, and I'm going to connect my keyboard. It's already, attached, but I have to put it in the right mode. It's the Smart Keyboard Folio because I'm using the iPad Air. So you might hear a bit of noise as my hands move along the iPad for just a moment. I apologize for that. I won't say anything while I'm doing that so that we don't miss anything. Give me a moment.
Keyboard hidden.
Okay, and you heard it say keyboard hidden. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this formula cell.
Double tap, total, boys, column, girl, double tap, row 2 reference, flavor, Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10, selected, total, formula result, 18, column 4.
There's my formula result of 18.
Edit, swipe up, select 3.
Now, I've opened that up, and it has.
Formula editor is editing.
Okay.
Functions.
We're not going to edit the formula.
Functions. Table 1, column G rep table, row 1 reference.
So you see that brings up the formula editor.
Flavor, row,
but
girl, total, double tapped, flavor, girls, 8, column, boys, 10.
Before we do any editing of formulas, I just want to show you if we select a cell.
Selected, boys, is editing, insertion point at end.
You can use the keyboard now because it's the mechanical.
10, row 2, column 3, girls, 8, selected, boys, 10, selected, text field, is editing, 10.
Right, so we can type on screen. But here's what I'm going to do.
10, row 2, selected, total, 4, boys, 10, girls, 8, selected, total, formula result, boys, selected, total, selected, boys, 10, total, formula result, 18, column 4. Selected.
We're gonna
double tap to edit.
Okay, we're not editing. I didn't open it up to edit it. I just double tapped total to select it. The first cell that has a formula in it, I've selected that cell. Now there is a special keyboard command that we press, and that keyboard command is command \. You remember where the command key is? Just to the left or to the right of the space bar. We press command \.
Entered autofill mode.
It said entered autofill mode. I'm in the Coca-Cola row, so all I have to do is repeatedly press the down arrow as many as I want to autofill this. So we want to fill it for Pepsi.
D3 autofilled.
We want to autofill it for cherry soda, down arrow.
D4 autofilled.
We want to autofill it for root beer, down arrow.
D5 autofilled.
We want to autofill it for Dr. Pepper, down arrow.
D6 autofilled.
And I'm even going to go 2 more.
D7 D8 autofilled.
And I'm going to end this by pressing command \. once again.
Exited autofill mode.
Now let's look at our spreadsheet.
Empty cell. Empty cell. Empty. Boy. Flavor. Row header. Column. Empty cell. Row 20. Flavor. Row 22. Reference tab. Insert.
Going to go up higher here.
Column C ref. Row 1 flavor, row header, column header, girls, boys, total, double, flavor, Coke, girls, 8, boys, 10, selected, total, formula result, 18, row flavor, Pepsi, girls, 10, boys, 9, selected, total, formula result, 19.
Look at that.
Empty, row 4, flavor, cherry, girls, 22, boys, 19, selected, total, formula result, 41, empties, row, flavor, root beer, row, girls, 17, boys, 18, selected, total, formula result, 35.
Isn't that awesome? It is autofilling everything.
Empty cell, empty, row 6 referenced, flavor, Dr. Pepper, girls, 12, boys, 13, selected, total, formula result, 25, column 4.
And because...
Tap to edit, empty, row 7, flavor, row header, row 7, column
we
1.
didn't even put a flavor in this one, but let's say we did. Let's say we went ahead here and we added another flavor.
Selected, double tap to edit. Selected, text field is edited.
This is going to be green apple soda. And let's do starry. And let's do one where I didn't do a formula, orange.
Star, capital R-N-G.
Now, let's go
Roast.
back to the left.
Pepsi, empty, empties, empty, row, flavor, root beer, row, girl, total, formula, boys, 13, total,
There's our
formula
Dr.
result,
Pepper.
25, row 7, flavor, green apple, girls, empty cell, column 2, selected, flavor, green apple, selected, insertion.
Okay, how many girls like green apple? We'll say 9.
Selected, text field is editing, row 7, column 2.
I accidentally.
Row 5, cherry,
That was my fault. I pressed delete. Hold on. We'll get back there.
Flavor,
I want to...
start, row header, flavor, star.
I think it puts start instead of starry,
empty, selected,
by the way.
Girls, empty, flavor, green apple, selected,
okay.
Girls, empty cell, column 2. Double tap to edit, actions selected, text field is editing, row 7, column 2, character mode.
I think I accidentally deleted the 9 when I put it in there.
9.
But I hope I didn't put 99. I might have, but that's all right. Let's say boys.
Boys, empty cell, selected, girls, 9.
Okay, it's right.
Selected, boys, insertion point.
And 15 boys.
5.
Like the green apple. So now here's
total formula result 9.
Here's the thing, we don't have that 15 entered until we close that cell, and that's why I told you to hide the keyboard before. Now with this, in this case, it's just as easy, just select another cell.
Empty cell, selected.
And that should do it.
Boys, 15.
So,
girls, 9. Boys, 15. Total. Formula result, 24.
And there it is. It automatically put the formula in there for us because we had already auto-filled that formula. And we could keep going. We could do starry, we could do orange, whatever other flavors we wanted. As long as we auto-fill that formula and we fill it down to as many cells as we think we might need, then that is all we need to do, and it will continue to fill that formula for us. Again, if we want to paste instead, we can use cell actions, or you can use the rotor, but if you use the cell action paste button, it's going to allow you to choose whether or not you want to paste the formula or paste the value, if my memory serves, because I've done that, and I think that's when it happened. But otherwise, this is a nice way to do it. Again, it was Command /. Just to review that, you select the first cell that has the formula that you want to fill down, and then you're going to Command /. You don't have to open the cell to type in it, all right? Just select it, and then Command / to enter that autofill mode, and just press the down arrow repeatedly. Not Command down arrow, not VO down, nothing like that. Just down arrow, as many as you want to fill it down, and when you have finished, press Command / again, and it automatically fills that formula. Now, the other thing we can do with this is we know that we have how many columns? We have 4 columns, correct? Flavor, girls, boys, and total. So let's go back to our column count handle.
Flavor, Coke, row.
Okay, let's go back over here.
Upper left row, column count handle, 7 columns, adjustable. Swipe up or down to add or remove columns in the table. Swipe up or down to select a custom action. Remove column G. Remove column F.
And we can actually even remove...
Remove column E.
Okay, so now we only have the 4 columns. Then here...
Row count handle, 22 rows, adjustable.
I'm going to swipe down to remove some. We could add some by swiping up if you need more. Same thing with the columns, but I'm going to... how many did we have? We had Coke, Pepsi, cherry soda, root beer, Dr. Pepper, apple, orange, and starry. So we had 8. So I'll leave a few extras just in case, but we can remove a bunch here.
Remove row 22. Remove row 15. Remove row 12.
All right. Now let's look at this. It's going to be a little easier to navigate.
Selected. Table 1. Column A reference. Column B reference. Column C. Column B. Table name. Row 1 reference. Flavor. Row 1. Flavor.
Notice.
Row 1. Flavor. Row header. Column header. Girls. Boys. Total. Row 2 reference tab.
We don't have those extra...
To select.
We don't have those extra empty columns anymore because we removed them. So praise God, that's how easy it is to remove or to add to your spreadsheet.
Flavor. Coke. Girls. 8. Boys. 10. Total. Formula result. 18. Row 3 reference tab. Flavor. Pepsi. Girls. 10. Boys. 9. Total. Formula result. 19. Row 4 flavor. Cherry. Girls. 22. Boys. 19. Total. Formula result. 41.
Look at how easy.
Row 5 flavor. Root beer. Girls. 17. Boys. 18. Total. Formula result. 35.
Look at how easily that's working, okay? Now, just to do one other quick comparison to other things, I'm going to open up one other kind of spreadsheet before we go to the instructors and go to the, the questions from all of you. I want to open an invoice. So let's go back.
Back button. Back button. Hide sidebar.
Let's
button.
create a new one.
Add button. Cancel button. Choose recent, basic, personal, business.
I think it's under business, if I recall.
Employee schedule, 1 chart and 3 tables with blue and green accents that let you calculate employee paychecks when you log time. Invoice, 1 table with blue accents that lets you create easy-to-read invoices with order details and prices. Invoice, selected. Invoice, spreadsheet, 1 of 1, white 100.
Rename this.
Back button. Invoice, invoice, actions menu.
It takes on the name of the template, so it already says invoice, but that's not really thorough for our purposes.
Invoice, share, numbers, rename, button, text
We'll
field.
call it invoice. So maybe I'd put invoice and somebody's name and the date. I'm just going to put invoice demo 24. Okay.
Monday, insert, invoice demo 24, actions menu, 4, organize, more, reading view, new sheet, selected, invoice, spreadsheet, 1 of 1, white 100 background, invoice, white background, text box, company name. 12 points close to line, text box, invoice, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, no underscore reply at example.com, 1 2 3 4 Main Street, any town. State ZIP. 89 points close to selections bottom right corner.
These are text boxes that have your information, and you could add more text boxes. There's a line in there they've inserted to make it look good. So we're going to go to this first text box.
Text box, company name. 12 points close to selections bottom right corner. Double tap to select.
We're going to double tap to select the text box. And we're going to double tap.
Selected. Text box. Insertion point at end.
To edit. Now, we have, if we use the arrow keys, we can see that it has the words company name, and we need to delete that. And we need to type our name, so I'll type TTJ Tech Services. Now you can move with your usual
tech services.
Option left and right, or you could do this on screen, of course, with your rotor. But let's go to the next one.
Line. Text box. Invoice selected. Text box. Insertion point at end.
And I'll go to the start.
Insertion point at start.
This has a lot of stuff in it, and I just need to verify one thing first, because I just saw something. and I don't know if it was, I don't know. Okay, I thought I had gotten a notification, but I don't see it. All right, so here's what we have.
Invoice 123 hyphen 456 hyphen 7890. Line separator underscore. Reply at example period com. Line separator 1234 Main Street line separator z any.
Okay, so I'm assuming.
Invoice new line 1 2 3 hyphen 4 5 6 hyphen 8 0 line.
That looks to be the phone number, the business phone number and address and email address that they want us to insert. So I'm just going to go ahead. I don't think that's the customer info. I think if you go to the right.
Text box. Attention. Trends Pruka title company name 4321 First Street, any town, state ZIP date, 7/7/23 project title, project name project description here P.O. Number, 12,345 invoice number, 67.
Right, so that's the customer info. So the one we're in is the company info for me.
Selected, text box, text field, is editing, invoice.
So I can put our business phone number.
Line separator 7,800 new line invoice new line 1 2 3 height 4 5 8 0.
They've got a fictional phone number.
400 123 minus 456 selected minus 7,890 selected.
What I did there was Option Shift right arrow to select those, and I'll type our actual business phone number.
8 3 7 6.
Now we will deselect that.
Line separator 814 hyphen 348 hyphen 1366.
So the business phone number is actually selected. Is actually entered now. The next one it has
line separator no underscore no n o underscore e p l y at e x.
Okay, it has no reply at example.com. So we're going to
new e l p e r underscore o n.
Going to enter info
o at
ttjtech.biz.
New line separator 1 2 3.
And I could also enter my address, but you see the idea of this.
Selected text box text field is editing invoice 814-348-1366 info at ttjtech.biz 1234 Main Street, any town.
Okay, so I could enter my address. Now this one,
detail invoice white background text box attention selected text box insertion.
this is where we have the text box that has the attention of the customer. So
company title line separate attention Trends Pruka.
All right.
Attention colon cap t e z cap u c a line separator title line separator name line separator.
So in other words, this is the person's name, the business name. So attention
company title line separator Pruka line separator trends.
All right. That's just a default name.
Cap T.
So
Pruka
we'll select that. Now let's say I'm going to invoice Trainer Cliff. So we've got him in there now.
Line separator
and
title.
His title.
Line cap C.
We'd call him
cap title line cap T.
We'd call him the owner or the CEO of his company.
Title selected. Cap O line separator.
And he's the CEO of Stir It Up
Cap C.
Services.
C.
So
Charlotte Company selected cap space cap N A M E.
Oh, I gotta delete that.
Cap N.
They had the word name in there too, company name.
Line separate 4,300.
And again, you could put his address and everything, but listen to this text box already.
Invoice white background selected text box text field is editing attention. Cliff Miller CEO Stir It Up Services 4321 First Street, any town, state ZIP date 7/7/23 project title, project name project description here P.O. Number 12,345 invoice number 67,890 terms 30 days. Insertion point.
Lots and lots of stuff in this text box. And the good news about that is then you know the text box is already big enough to accommodate it. You're just replacing information. I'm not going to do all of this for the sake of time, and you don't need his address. But for example,
And date colon 7/7/23.
we would want to update the date because it's not July 7th, 2023. It's, what is it? It's May the 5th. No, May the 6th, excuse me, 2024. So
Space. Date colon. 7.
they don't have a 2-digit, they have a 1-digit. So 5
/7
slash
6
6
2 3
24.
24.
So,
and date colon 5/6/24.
okay.
Project title. Project name.
And that's where we'd put the project name. And why are we invoicing Trainer Cliff? What's the project
Title colon. Title colon.
title?
Project name. Select.
We're invoicing Trainer Cliff just because.
Use.
Probably not a good way to get paid, but hey, that's what we're going to do right now. So,
Data project title colon just because.
okay, so you get the idea. You can, and they have a place for a purchase order number. If you don't want to use that, just delete it. Like I don't use PO numbers normally with people because even the ones that I work for as like states, they don't give me that information, so I don't know if there is a PO or what they do. So I delete that one, but I do put an invoice number, and I generate, numbers based on different conventions that I've established. Certain letters represent certain things. That's just a system that I have. Like if you purchase training through me, it's going to be a GL followed by some numbers. And if you purchase, I just have that. So I do put an invoice number for my customers when I invoice them. And terms, right now it says 30 days. You can put whatever you want in there. So you get the idea. This is the text box that allows you to do all of that. Now we're going to swipe to the right.
Details. 8 rows. 4 columns. Quantity. Column header. Column 2. Unit price. Column header. Column 3. Cost. Column header. Column 4. Description. Item 1. Row 2. Column 1.
So you have your first one
Description.
is
Item 1. Column
description, and they're calling it item 1. The next thing,
1. Quantity. 55.
how many of them,
Unit price. $100.
and what is the
Column
unit price per, what is the price per unit? So, for example, if Trainer Cliff bought web design hours from me,
Description. Item 1. Column 1.
we're going to go into item 1,
Selected. Double tap to edit. Space.
and instead of,
Selected. Text field in column count handle. Row up. Cost. Description. Space. Row 2. Selected. Double tap to edit. Selected. Text field is editing. Space. Row
okay,
2. Column 1. Character.
instead of the item 1, we're going to call it web design
Cap W. Bits. Cap N.
services.
Quantity. 55. Selected. Double tap to edit. Insertion point at end.
Now, what I would have done, I didn't know I was going to do web design hours. I wasn't thinking about that until I realized to demonstrate this invoice, I have to actually put something in there. What I would have done is gone back into that terms, and I would have said, like, price per hour. And so I would have explained it in the project description and the terms. But we're going to say that he used 6 hours of web design services. So I'm gonna put a 6 in there.
6. Selected. Quantity. Text field is editing. 556.
Oh.
6. 5. 5.
They had the 55 in there. Okay, now we got it.
6.
Don't want to overcharge Trainer Cliff here.
Selected.
Okay.
Quantity. Text field is editing. 6.
All right, so we've got 6 hours, and now,
Unit price. $100. Selected. Insertion point at start.
all right, the unit price,
$100. Row 2. Column 3.
is that going
Use the
to,
rotor to invoice. Column count.
is it going to replace it?
Quantity. Column.
I don't know.
Selected.
Honestly, when I do invoices, I use the on-screen keyboard, because sometimes when you're in certain cells, the arrows move you from cell to cell instead of within a cell. Like a text box, it's fine, you can use the arrow keys, but in this case, I'm going to actually pull off the keyboard.
Keyboard visible.
Excuse the noise. Excuse the noise. Okay.
Unit price. $100. Column 3. Selected. Double tap to edit. Selected. Text next row.
Because the reason that they do this, it's not really a text box. I think they have the number keyboard here.
$100.
So I can just
Delete. 001.
I can put
9.
Yeah, they have a number keyboard.
8.
So we're going to put my hourly rate there as
8.
80.
2.
Whoop.
8. Invoice.
The 0
8.
is up above or below?
2. 0.
It's there. There it is, down below.
0.
Like a calculator or a, something like that. And now you have, we'll hide that.
High keyboard.
All right, so let's take a look at this.
Text box. Invoice. Row. Upper left. Middle left. Quantity. Column. Description. Column header. Column. Cost. Column. Description. Web design services. Row. Quantity. 6. Selected. Unit price. $80. Cost. Formula result. $480.
And see, it's already got the formula result in there because it already has the formula built into the template. So the only thing I would want to do to make this invoice better is go back to that text box, and where it says project terms and so forth, I would explain that the rates shown are per hour at a rate of $80 per hour. The project title would have been web design. Project description would be, as discussed, agreed upon modifications to your site, whatever, And so 6 hours at $80 an hour comes to $480. And then they give you more fields, like if you want to add more things, you can always add more rows and columns, but they give you more fields to do, like at the bottom here, your tax, if you have it, and
description, quantity, unit, cost, description, quantity, unit, cost, empty, description, empty, set, unit, cost.
So there's lots we can fill in here. We have more products if Cliff bought more services.
Just unit, lower, select
now
details, 8 invoice, lower text box. Thank you for your business. It's a pleasure to work with you on your project. Your next order will ship in 30 days. Sincerely yours, Ernest Emper.
Okay, there's a text box.
Show keyboard, invoice, white background.
There it is.
Text box.
And
thank you for your business. It's a pleasure to work with you on your project. Your next order will ship in 30 days.
What I normally do is edit that out. I still say thank you for your business. It's a pleasure to work with you. Look forward to working with you again soon or whatever. But I also put in that text box, please remit payments via Apple Pay, Zelle, whatever I want to put in there, or to the following address. And I can put my address. Actually, I don't put to the following address. I put to the above address, because remember, there was a place for that up above. And sometimes, if I'm working for a business like a state government agency, they ask for my EIN. So I put that in here, in that field that says these things. I say, sincerely yours, Matthew G. Volbrecht, EIN, and I put the number because they need that for their records when they remit payments. So all of this stuff, this is a perfect invoice, and it works beautifully, and I use it quite frequently for businesses. Now, when we get into the week after next, almost at the end of class, the next to the last week of class, isn't that amazing? Praise God, 3 weeks, and look at that. But in 2 weeks, when we get into this sort of what's on my iPad discussion, some of the other apps that I use, you're going to find out, and really I do it on my iPhone for a lot of that, but you're going to find out that when I invoice individual customers, I don't do this usually. I do it through either the Square point of sale app or the QuickBooks accounting app, because then they have automatic web links that they can pay using Apple Pay or their credit card or whatever. So for individual customers, I don't typically do this. The only one, when I use this, I use it for individuals who want to pay by check or cash, or for businesses that need it for their records, because they typically will send me payment, and so it's better if they have this for their records. And what I do then is I just go up here,
back button, invoice demo 24, actions menu button, invoice demo, ship number, rename, move, set pass, hide comment, export button,
and I say export, and under export,
to expand.
Under export, I choose PDF, and that's how easy it is to get this invoice then to somebody. I just email it to them. All right.
Selected. Monday, May 3, invoice back button, hide sidebar.
Let's go back to Zoom.
Apps with numbers. Zoom. Active.
Praise God. I think that went very well, and it was a lot of fun. Hopefully it was a blessing to you.
But yeah,
So-
Numbers has is it's one of those programs that when it first came, it wasn't that great, wasn't that accessible, and now it's basically Excel. I mean, you can do more things on the iPad with it though.
And I like the fact that it's smart enough to, and as I said, I'm sure if you got really complex and you needed to do, weird things, then obviously you would have to know how to write formulas, but that's not the purpose of this class, But
Right. And writing formulas are so elementary and easy anyway. As long as you know simple math, you can do it. I mean, I was so good with Excel. I mean, but that I could make formulas. I could create a spreadsheet, write formulas, and have them show up on different pages or different sheets, as they're called.
Right.
So, I mean, I've never done that with numbers because I don't have to, but I'm pretty sure I could figure it out.
But the thing is, though, what I like is the fact that it's smart enough to determine what formula it thinks I want. I didn't have to input a thing when I did that, and it knew exactly what formula I wanted, which I think is amazing because, again, if I had a lot more cells, I'm sure it might have, needed some help along the way there. But, for those who do need to create formulas, as Trainer Cliff said, most of it is the math part, and you can go into, you noticed when we inserted a quick formula, folks, that it gave you the formula editor. And so you could go back with your rotor and you could read the formula. And if you needed to change it, then that would be a good way. If you've never written a formula, that'd be a good way to learn how to write one too, because you can use the existing formula and modify it. I mean, anytime you're doing any kind of coding or programming or, anything like that, that's always the general rule of thumb, right? For those of you who do shortcuts, with Siri and other things in Apple, what do? You take a shortcut from the gallery and go through it and read it and learn what the syntax is and so forth. And then you can, use that going forward. So these are helpful ways of doing that. They've really tried to make it so that you don't have a lot of, if any, manual entry without any guidance at all.
Can you do a grand total at the bottom?
They're actually, yes. So I believe Viola, but I just didn't really stop there to look at it. I believe there is already in that invoice template that we had a grand total at the very bottom, because there's a tax one.
I know that, but I mean in the one you created.
Oh, in the one that I did with like the soda flavors or the ice cream. Yeah. What I'd say is you'd have to have a different formula. You'd have to do a cell and call it grand total, and then you would have to choose whatever that range would be. You know what I mean? Like, what would that be? Like, I don't know, C1 through C8, or you know what I mean? Like whatever it is.
Right. You'd have to tell it what range you wanted.
Formula. That's right. That's right. God bless you, everybody. See you tomorrow for lab, Wednesday for class.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Want a free consultation or some paid one-on-one training? Email us at support@ttjtech.biz or support@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional free resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. I'm Trainer Cliff. Thanks for joining us. God bless. See you next time.